Live from Hollywood for one last time this season. It is the finale of Dancing with the Stars, season 33. We have crowned our new champions of the Len Goodman Mirror Ball Trophy, and we are here to break it all down again after an entire season of coverage here on RHAP. Thanks to you all who asked for it. You got it. Here we are with the finale. First, let me bring in, of course, I am Matt, here with Sasha Joseph. Sasha, how are you?
Hello. We did it. We did a whole season, everyone. And me and my two little antidepressants are here.
Oh
I'm
my
so
God.
excited. I'm so excited.
Yes, I guess if I'm one of them, the other one here with us returning to the Dancing with the Stars coverage. You saw him all the way back in the premiere coverage, and by popular demand, he is back. It is Brandon Donlon. What's up?
Hey, Anna Delvey, we start this thing episode 1 and then we end it. And that's what I'm doing here.
Exactly.
I care about this much more than she cared about her whole appearance on this program. Look through the 3 episodes that she was here.
She came back. That was a lot more than we expected going into the
Never
finale.
thought
she was
she'd be
here.
back. Here she is. I don't think we'll ever see her again on television. I feel like she knows this isn't for her. But she was there. She was smiling. She looked like she was having fun, maybe.
I'm obsessed with the fact that we just crowned champions and we're still talking, leading off with Anna Delvey. Let's talk about, we're going to talk about it all. We're going to break down everything from this 3-hour finale, 2.5-hour finale, and 30-minute recap with our new champions. Immediate reactions. Sasha, again, starting with you. Joey and Jenna are champions.
Called it, right? Like run it back. Hell, it's so funny that we were called it, but not in a I told you so way. Made sense. I understand why. I'm just happy that we're here. I'm happy, my girls made it to the finale. Everything was just a fun ride. That's how I'll cap off the season. And listen, it's not that Joey didn't deserve to win. He did great. I just think Chandler was better, and that's okay.
Yes. Brandon, reactions to Joey and Jenna's win?
Yeah, I mean, I have been like on episode 1, run it back. I was like, I love this guy, and this guy's great. I have never been less convinced that he was going to win up until like an hour and a half ago, and then an hour ago, and I was like, I think we're losing it. I think Chandler is, and I wrote that down in my notes a couple times. Chandler is by far a better technical dancer. And then when she got revealed, not to be in even the top 2, I was shocked. But this has been the most fun that I've had watching Dancing with the Stars in Forevs. And I think it's just because like all of a sudden everybody is tweeting about it and watching it. And then this obviously has been beautiful to connect with people in our community that are watching it as well. And just seeing everybody, I didn't need an hour and a half of recaps, but everybody here was so fun. Like this was such a fun group. I remember everybody had moments throughout the season. So I think, Joey and Jenna, I wanted them to win. I was so happy that they won. And this has been like, I think they're a good, end cap on what is a really, really fantastic season of the show.
Cannot disagree at all. I think like everybody has had fun with this season. I haven't seen one person that's watched this season that said, I fell off halfway through because it wasn't entertaining or anything like that. But again, between the fans, the contestants, obviously all, and like, I think this happens quite often that the contestants, the pairs end up bonding a lot. And you see that throughout, especially towards the end of a season, the friendships that grow from this. But this season in particular just seemed so close. The pros, the celebs, the judges, the hosts, everybody was having such a great time. The social media was, going off like never before. It was just an overall experience that just, think we got the right season to jump into, to bring the coverage back here because it's been so much fun to talk about it every week and it's just been great. So a great season, Sasha, maybe not like the perfect ending depending on who you are and what you were looking for, but an expected and understandable ending for sure.
Yeah, it's just, again, I think it's fair. I don't think it's like, oh, this is like the worst person ever to win. Absolutely not. I think it was still, again, such a fun season. And I just want to say shout out to chat, right? Like y'all have been with us for how many weeks now? I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't do math. But it's just y'all have been killing it, keeping us on our toes. The mirror ballers are just chef's kiss. All right. And obviously it's been the best to chat with the both of you and all our guests. So it's just overall, it's just a great bow on our season.
We'll get into everything that happened in the episode, but let's also kind of just quickly run down the results here for anybody. I don't know. Did you skip the episode or something like that? Second place, Brandon, Ilona, and Alan.
Yeah, I was, you watch Ilona's first dance, you're like, oh, this is great. I'm thinking the whole time Ilona's going to get fifth, fourth, a potential sneak at third. And then once the freestyle happened, that was the most fun I had watching any dance all night, was her freestyle. And I was like, oh, she could win, So once Chandler gets revealed at third, I'm still thinking that Joey didn't win. I thought for a whole 5 minutes during the commercial break, I thought Ilona had it. I haven't had so much fun watching somebody on this show in forever. Seeing her and Alan both bond, she's so funny on TikTok and all of her social media. She's super, super good. It just sucks. I wrote in my notes, like, I'm so sad that The Amazing Race is like a CBS owned product because like her and Alan, I can't believe this is it. I never get to see them do this again. I'm so glad Ilona's going on the tour. I'm so glad that she had so much fun. And again, second place, I'm thrilled for her.
Just one date, as far as I'm aware. I think it's one tour date, but that's
people
will get a good show when Ilona shows up.
Go to that tour. If you're going to go to the tour, fly to wherever Ilona's going.
Yeah, there was a list that had some of the tour dates and everything, and tour people correct. Steven as being a part of the whole tour. Like, they got a lot of that. That source said Ilona was at one date. Joey and Chandler will both be at a couple of them, and Steven will be there the whole time. But Sasha, yes, Ilona in second place. Third place, who you were talking about earlier, Chandler and Brandon.
Again, fair. I texted y'all. We were talking during the episode, and I said, oh, those Instagram likes tell me everything I need to know. And I thought she was going to be last because of it. And I was a stress ball because I said, okay, she's not going to win. I get it. I already knew that. But from my house, 50 votes came in from here but somehow. And I'm just like, damn, the fact that, it's just, she might not even make it. So she killed it. Chandler, you're the moment. You deserve your spot, in the sun. And it is what it is. For whatever reason, folks may say, right? Like, there's a lot of things going on, but we know Bachelor Nation strong, and that's great. And that works. So I can't even say nothing. Yeah. So it's just, I'm bummed for Chandler, but I hope that she doesn't, this is just a start for her.
Yeah. For me, I'll say that Ilona, I was with you for sure, Brandon, going into that final commercial break. I was like, oh, Ilona's got this. Just like a combination of just like a shift in feeling that I've had over the past week. Like, I know I've been on here saying Joey, but like in the past, 5 or 6 days, I'm like, oh no, Ilona is taking this instead. And especially with her freestyle, we'll talk about it. I was like feeling so good about it. I was like, if she walks away the winner, I'm so happy. Yes, Melissa saying Alan crying for Ilona so many times got me in the feels. Very much so. Those two and their friendship, like the tears were flowing, just like a lot of them, but like those two really got me. So them finishing second, I think, probably given what I guess maybe Ilona and Alan would have been expecting throughout most of the season of like not being at the top of the leaderboard. Like, I hope and imagine that they're going to be pretty happy with the second place. Of course, everybody wants to be first, but that's that. And then Chandler and Brandon, all I can say there is that I thought it was going to be worse for them. I thought it was going to be fourth or fifth place. I've been, nervous for weeks. So I, of course, wish that they did better. They got all my votes too. They have been for weeks. And, making history tonight, being the first Black couple to make it all the way to the finale, celebrating that, especially with their freestyle performance. So, I'll take third, I guess, over fourth and fifth, but I also wish I didn't have to just take third for the two of them who were the best of the season. We'll talk about them later. Brandon, then our final two couples, Danny in fifth and Steven in fourth. I said that backwards. Yeah. So Steven in fourth, Danny in fifth to close things out.
Yeah, I mean, for both, I think it was a lot, a lot of growth for both. I think, Steven, it was so nice watching Riley, who's super emotional. I think after both dances, Riley sees her sister Lindsay, and I guess her niece, also Lindsay's daughter, and is super emotional. I'm so thrilled for Riley, and Steven was so much fun the whole season. And then just a quick thing on Danny. I remember saying in episode 1, I just want him to look like he's having fun. He looked like he was there like contractually. And I do think we got there. Like over the course of the season, he did look like he was having fun. He was never the best. He was never at the top of the leaderboard, but he did seem like he was enjoying the experience more than certainly he looked like he was week 1. And I'm thrilled, I'm thrilled for that. It seemed like Whitney had a good time with him as well. So hell yeah for them. Him and Julianne Hough for a second, a little flirty for, they had a little flirty segment, how fun was that? So TBD, we'll put a pin in that.
Messing up comments here. But the I think the results there were definitely expected on the Danny end of things, and I think that for Steven, a good placement, a good closing spot.
Yeah, and I think Diego is me, where Danny in fifth reminded me there's some good in the world. It's just, again, it's funny, and I think that even if Danny, no, I think fifth is good, actually. I take it back. Yeah, because at first I was like, oh, Danny could even go up to fourth. Maybe that's okay. But then Steven's freestyle came in, and I said, it's done. You know what I mean? Like, we're good. Whew. I'm happy now. We're good to go. It's gonna be great. And also I wanted to say, I think Steffi has a really interesting point in the chat that says if they didn't use the semifinal results, Ilona may have won.
Ooh. I mean,
Yeah.
well, look, we got to use results that happen. Like the
Fair.
non-elimination
No, I just thought
last
that was
week.
interesting. Yeah.
Sasha, you missed a non-elimination, so not
Yep.
not the craziest thing to not be here for. But of course, that all carries over to this week. And look, Ilona had a great week last week, so certainly catapulted her to being in consideration as well, not just from like the fans' perspective in the voting, but just like to have us sitting here thinking, wow, no, she really has a chance. So there is that. But overall,
sorry. One more thing. Yeah, Terrence also, I think encapsulates how I feel about it, in that, like, in my heart, Chandler and Ilona were 1 and 2, but in reality, I think Chandler, like Terrence says, was the definitely better. But I'm not mad Joey won, because he's still the next best, and shown how good he was is more of a surprise, which such a great way to encapsulate, I think, how the reality of what happened.
Yeah. Overall, very fun finale. The recap, not so much. The recap, not so necessary. And I will say they got me. They do this all the time, that they have a recap to kick things off on finale night. But I don't know. It wasn't on my radar. And then it happened. Yep. And I was like, well, I guess I'm not taking notes for at least 30 minutes.
It's so funny. Like American Idol, I remember the finales being 7.5 hours long every season. And that I felt like we got away from that. Like even like the Survivor finales now, the Big Brother finales, they're kind of packed with action. And you get, a half hour of filler. But this was a level of filler that I haven't seen since, mid 2000s on TV. It was so much. Why are we cutting to, and I love Reginald. Nobody loves Reginald more than I do. We got to see Reginald dance to the.
I will say. Well, let's talk about some of these segments.
Yeah. Okay. I will fight you on a little.
We'll get to Reginald in a second. Let's get to some of these dances. We got some images here to walk us through. So I don't know. The first one that we have up here is the Mark and Derek number. Sasha, what did we take away from this one?
Can I tell you, I was looking forward to this the most, because I like them. I obviously love Mark. We've been clamoring for more Mark, right? Even chat is loving it. Right? Mino says Derek and Tango is mesmerizing. Yes. I appreciated the history of it, right? Like, hey, here's how the Argentine tango showed up. Here's how we're going to really take it through and get through all of this. And Geneva, hi, Geneva, also says Mark and Derek wanted an Emmy Award submission. Give them everything. Give them everything. I will say I thought there would be more, but then folks were also saying how technical and how fast it was. So that's where I think not knowing, ballroom dance, like, take an L. But either way, it was so good to watch. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So good.
For me, Brandon, it's the as they talk about, I think what was like 30 years or something like that of these two dancing together, that is just so evident in them hitting the ballroom floor together. And it's like insane.
Well, I'm shocked that they haven't done something like this before. Like, it's so crazy when the show's been on for 20 years. They've both been a part of it for 15, if not a couple more. Mm-hmm. I'm so shocked that it took till now for them to dance together. I did notice the camera work. It's so funny that the person just said that.
Too.
Lavender, I totally noticed that. I don't know how. I don't think I noticed it in the moment. Like I registered that it was the camera, but something felt like, I felt like I was doing this a little bit.
Yeah, going in circles. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Because again, I was mesmerized by them, but also Muhammad talks about the costumes. Right. It's just the puzzles didn't all fit together, like you're saying, Brandon. I think that's all it was. Because overall, it's beautiful. And seeing the pictures of them, like Geneva was saying, dancing all their life, like that is so sweet. And I really enjoy all this extra stuff because listen, if we're gonna have filler, make it worth my time.
Yeah. It's also funny because Derek is in the middle of like a world tour right now. He's doing like his holiday tour. So
Right.
he's like in between, like, I don't know how many shows he did in the past week, but he was like on Instagram talking about, so I'm at the show this week, I'm in New York this day. I get back, I rehearse this day for this. And look, shout out to Derek, shout out to all of the pros for the entire night. Holy hell, like, did they have a lot to do? And like, I know this is their job, and their job is to memorize choreography and execute it on the night of the show. But oh my God, like some of the pros, and of course it was mostly the eliminated pros, but also the ones that were still in the competition that were just involved in almost every number, like 10 different numbers on the night. I mean, I don't think everybody was in everything, but the amount of choreography, the amount of performance that all of those pros did, very commendable.
Yeah.
They killed it.
Agreed. Also, is this real? That Chaz said this was pre-recorded.
A lot of the like the segments that we're about to talk
Oh,
about right now
damn.
are pre-recorded in the sense that they were probably recorded like in the hour, 2 hours, 3
Hey,
hours before the
fair.
show. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, is
I
that
mean,
right? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get Derek like super
Thanks,
quick back
Chaz.
into like
Yeah.
the judge's seat by the time
Oh, yeah.
commercial
No.
ends. And
Yeah.
a lot of like the pros that are, they have to be ready to go in the next dance and whatever. So they do a couple of these earlier in the day, but not too much earlier. All right, let's talk about the next one here. Our returning champions, Sochi and Val, were back to do another dance. And Sochi, especially when she's done with this dance, which of course was great, when she expresses in her interview like how much she's missed dance, and she first of all graduated high school since she won insane. I know Sasha's face, but like just talking about how much she missed dance, misses the show. Like, it's not just her, like you can tell from every single person that participates in the show how much fun they have. And I feel like in like a Hollywood production, that's kind of rare to find like people with that much love for their production company and everybody that's involved. So Brandon, this was great. Oh, some love for Brandon in the chat.
This I had a lot of fun watching. It felt so funny, like they were going to get judged. Like I thought they were going to pivot to the judging panel. I was like, "You guys, are we rating this?" But yeah, to speak to that point, every week, half the fun that I have watching the show is seeing all the prior contestants, former contestants in the audience, right? Like you see so many people who come back, and it is really like a fraternity situation. Whereas, granted, this is the only show like it where there's a celebrities and a live audience, but you don't see this. And yeah, exactly what you just said, Matt. A lot of different productions. I saw the Property Brother. There's it's weird to sit at the table with a Property Brother and not talk about to or about the Property Brother.
Yeah.
Alfonso's like, hey, Sean William Scott, you're here sitting with this Property Brother. But I love that part of it. And these two, I voted for them all season last year. They're super, super fun. So thrilled to see them back.
Yeah. Sochi
also,
again.
Neve and Kenya, like in the background, killing me. I loved it.
I love.
Were they on this episode? Were they here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I missed them. I didn't see them.
Yeah. They were behind Alfonso for a lot of it, I think.
I mean, it's hard to see everybody when like the camera's just constantly on Kelsey.
Yeah.
And
we love Kelsey. We love Kelsey here. It's so funny. If you go back and watch the episode, there's a person who's sitting behind both Bruno and Derek that I thought looked a lot like Corey Wertenberger. And I believe it might be Riley's boyfriend. I am like 80%.
Riley's boyfriend was there, so I will have to double check and see if I agree with the comparison.
Go back and watch tomorrow. Go on YouTube TV and go see it. And I texted them. I'm like, I think this is you.
Sasha, also a note here that the champions here, Sochi and Val, handed off the trophy. Brandon, I guess as the historian, I mean, we saw that Charlie did it too, handed it off to Sochi. This hasn't been going on for 30 seasons, though. 30 plus seasons.
No, definitely not. Maybe it happened at like once or twice before that, but I don't remember that at all.
But they're trying to make it happen now.
I think this, it speaks to now, like, I think it's a good moment, right? It's a good, like, Twitter, TikTok moment, social media moment. And I like it. And if people are this happy about the experience, Joey will be back. This
Oh,
will
he
all
will.
be here
Yeah.
this time next year,
Yeah.
handing it to, I don't know. Who's
And Sasha,
it's too early to make
Val
a
gets
pick.
to hand it off to his wife.
That was cute. Again, they must have known. The thing is, why didn't they plan something cuter? You know what I mean? I feel like Val giving it to his wife, but maybe it's Jenna's time. So Val just like should be in the background. But either way, it was so
Yeah.
funny. Because as soon as I saw, again, I just forgot that Val also won with Sochi. And I was like, oh my God, they're keeping it in the family. It's too much. I love it.
Sometimes that's okay. Here on Dancing with the Stars. Let's check out what's next. Brandon was talking about this earlier. Reginald VelJohnson came back and he got, as Julianne even introduced, a man of little steps, but still got all the pros moving all around him. This was great. And somebody in the chat earlier had pointed out that one of us had called, I guess at some point, that there was going to be a Family Matters theme song dance, and we finally get it here. Maybe it was Brandon himself, and I got emotional with this one. I think Reggie was crying himself. I think I saw a tear in there. Emma has loved working with Reggie. She has been so clear about that. So just to see them back together, I was like, oh, I love this.
It was so cute. Again, it was giving what it needed to give, right? Where I pulled up the comment. I'm sorry, Tasia. I hope I say it right. I'm so sorry. But it was so cute because I agree. We know what he's gonna give. And guess what? He showed up and he showed out. And shout out to the choreography. Because the way they did it all was precious. And Muhammad is saying that Emma said they didn't rehearse. It was all on the spot.
What?
And now if you're saying this, it's chef's kiss. Can't tell me nothing. All right. That is so good. And I think that it adds this like silly, goofy, fun layer that I'm okay with. Right? Like this is the filler I'm good with, as opposed to the like, here's our adversity and why Chandler and all these celebs made it. We don't okay. Okay, she said it on TikTok live. Thank you. Yeah, so apparently she said that. But the fact that they didn't rehearse it, please. Where's my 10 paddle?
I want to retract my statement when I said this was fun. I enjoyed this greatly.
No, I get what you're saying.
There was so much going on, and I wrote it down in my notes a couple times. Like, I just want to see who wins. Like that's like it's like the American Idol finale. Like I was texting Mike Bloom, and he's like, Sanjaya is singing with Aerosmith, and that's beautiful. But like, I want to know who wins the show. I'm tired.
That was my mom.
Fantastic.
That was my mom. My mom was like, so you're going upstairs? So I was like, yeah, I need to get ready for the pod. And she's like, but I need to know who won. And I was like, girl, you got ABC on the TV. And she's like, no, I want to watch it together.
Aw. This was so cute. It was really a highlight of the night for me. So I'm glad we got to see Reggie back. And we also saw a couple of other eliminated contestants back. We saw Brooks and Gleb, Jenn and Sasha. Yes, Sasha's covering her eyes. This was so intentional. Like, not only have all four of these people been leaning into the is there something going on-ness of the season? Brooks and Gleb did a whole thing for where they were separated for weeks and adding each other indirectly all over online. And then recently came back together, and it's just, and Ezra's involved. It's a lot is happening with these four, and they leaned into it. Alfonso made a funny comment at the end, like, didn't you all, you know what? Never mind. But Brandon, I don't know. Any future for these, any of these four together, separate?
I mean, I'm not going to speak for Brooks and Gleb. Sure. I've seen a couple TikToks of Jenn and Sasha, and they look great.
Everything I know about both of these couples is against my will, Samantha. Yes.
I don't want to know anything. Yeah. I have no interest. I have more interest in doing my taxes than I do with what Gleb is doing in this.
Where is the lie,
part of his life?
Where is the lie?
Listen, yeah. But I really like Jenn, and I hope I wish the best for Jenn. So hopefully Sasha is, if they're hanging out, I hope they're both having fun.
It was a fun number. I enjoyed them. Look, we got season-long storylines. Let's close them out here.
I literally, I think, put it on Blue Sky where we voted the showmances out.
I know.
We did.
Okay, because guess what? Because chat was also asking, but Guess who we didn't see because of the showmans? Phaedra. What the
Yeah.
hell?
Yeah, no Phaedra, no Eric Roberts, and no Dwight in
Don't
their
piss
own
me off.
performances. They didn't get any individual performance. They were in the opening number, and it was nice to see everybody there. Dwight got to hold Daniela 10,000 feet in the air. Eric got to stand there, and Phaedra got to do a little bit of something with Val. So nice to see them all, of course. But then the final couples that danced included this person. And Sasha, she had nothing.
I already talked about this, but this casting, right? Anna Delvey, I don't care what anyone is saying, but I love Anna. Just a ridiculous human being, overall camp, obsessed. And that's all I know about Anna, okay? And the fact that they even put her little bit where they were like, would you learn nothing? Yes.
Yeah, I wish Julianne didn't kind of ruin it. Like it didn't really land great after Julianne got involved. But like that's happened a lot this season. Still love her.
Yep,
But
that's what and Lavender says that Randall.
yeah, exactly.
She did. That she did.
But Brandon, like when did they like whatever producer came up with this? Probably what, the day after Anna left, of like, I know the song she's doing when she comes back, if she comes back, and it's fine, it's perfect.
And I'm thrilled they thought of it because it's
Y'all
fantastic.
must remind me the song, please.
I have nothing.
I have nothing.
Oh yes,
Whitney Houston. She was
you?
in, and then she was out, and it was brief, and that's what I wonder what the money looked like for this night. Do you think this is more money for her to come back? Because you have to assume that she doesn't want, like, she didn't want to come back. Like, she made it abundantly clear, but she's here, and she looked like she's having fun.
I would imagine that each of them get like, appearance plus finale kind of like, I don't know, this is speculation. That like is included in their contracts, and then they get more money for each week that they last kind of thing. I'm totally guessing there. Tori Spelling also was in this number, and her and Pasha started it. But of course, then by the time we get to the chorus and we get to the chorus of I Have Nothing, Anna Delvey comes out, lip syncing along, being carried by these two troop guys. And it was great. It was great. Ezra and Anna have been having a lot of fun on TikTok, or at least Ezra has been, since he's had Anna back in his life. And that's what's going on there. Anything else on any of the segments that we may not have talked about yet? The bumpers, there was a lot of fun stuff. The opening number was a lot of fun again, but some decent filler. Otherwise,
super cool.
Yeah,
they were in a big egg. I love a big egg.
Yeah,
they turned around in a big egg. None of the shows I watch have a big egg that you just you kind of dance at.
None of the shows. I probably could think of some show that has a big egg.
I bet you The Amazing Race at one point.
That Lady Gaga showed up in. That's not a show, but it counts.
That counts. Amazing Race does feel egg work. Like they've probably done it. Yes, 40 seasons.
I feel like Amazing Race might have had some egg.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about these couples here. Our final five, and we're going to talk about them in the order that they danced in the night, and of course, we'll remind us all of their placements. So, Brandon, let's start here with Steven and Riley, our fourth place finishers. Their redemption round was a quick step, and their freestyle was really, really good, if you ask me. What did you think of their performance tonight, their final placement, everything?
I thought both performed. I mean, I think the freestyle was incredible. I think it was so much, Joey did a similar thing to this as well, but to integrate the thing that you're good at and known for into the freestyle, I think because there are no rules, it gives you the opportunity to do so. And I thought it was absolutely so much fun. I love dancing to the Rembrandts. I think that's so fun. Dancing to the Friends theme song, with the elusive second verse that I was like, wow, we're doing verse 2. Nobody knows verse 2. But they did it. And
Brandon texted us both about the Friends thing, and I have not watched Friends, so I
my god,
didn't know
never watched Friends.
Oh, that's crazy as hell.
And now this is the second podcast I've done this week where that topic has come up. But look, I know the song.
You're Brandon and Shaw.
Wait, you've never seen it? Like you never watched it?
No.
Wow. That's it.
So when are you doing the Friends Friends watch? And
I have been told I may have to at some point.
Because that's on me about crazy as hell.
I know. It's my not so fun fact. Especially, I'm sorry, Brandon. I'm kind of throwing you off here, but
no, please.
Yeah.
I think
so
the
we need to hold space for you. To what?
Please hold space for that.
The
Mohammed
lyrics of
saying
the
not
song,
what?
they're very deep. Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
this is like for me, like I feel like top 10 songs that you just hear, you're like, oh, that's nice. Like you never hear it outside. It's like seeing your like teacher at the mall. You never hear like the theme song when you're not watching the show. So I was like, oh, that's fun.
it's
And I
funny
thought the
because
dance
like
was very good.
if we're trying to like match up some of the songs with what's happening, like I Have Nothing with Anna Delvey, I'm like, this isn't even a couple that like we need to be reminded are just friends. Like there's other couples that could have used that kind of thing. But
Also,
that's okay.
their outfits were killing. Again, great dance. Steven was on
Yeah.
it tonight, period. I just want to say, but boy, these outfits are killing me.
Did you like
Just
the
no.
second one's better
Yes.
here in the
I
freestyle?
this
Very
is
fun.
what and I've talked about this on this pod where but this the freestyle, sorry for folks that are listening, but the freestyle is where I said, "Oh, Steven has grown up."
Mm-hmm.
Like watching him felt like, "Oh, yes, I was watching like, like a grown man, right? Like doing like passionate, really interesting things." But the first one and someone again, I posted about like, "Oh, I'm not feeling the outfit, but Steven killed it, period." And someone said they look like Finding Nemo.
In this one? Oh no, in the first
No,
one.
in the first one.
Oh, okay.
And it was killing me. I was like, that took
The
me out.
only orange characters out there, just
Yeah,
Nemo.
basically.
Nemo
Uh,
and I don't know, I guess his dad.
but yeah, either way, I just the first dance was like really sweet. I liked it. Because musicality, right, was his big feedback.
Yeah.
And I still think he killed it, but the freestyle, I mean, isn't even the two dances to me, like they're not even close. Like the freestyle just he ran away with it.
This was the one, the quick step was the one where, as you mentioned at the top, the two antidepressants running around the dance floor was an unhinged comment from Derek Huff. What? But he was on his game with some of those comments throughout the night, and I will not forget that one anytime soon. So that was fun. And then Carrie Ann was saying how Len would have been smiling from ear to ear watching, which I agreed with, especially for that
Mhm.
for the first dance. But the second one was just insane. Of course, they involved the pummel horse as we predicted. Mike Bloom also sent me a quick like, what did we not call it last week? We did, and it's this thing, and they did it great. And then they had all of the other gymnasts there from Steven's team, I guess, and especially that time where it was just them in the middle of the dance floor doing whatever the hell that spinning move is called was insane. Like you want a freestyle, and we'll talk about everybody's freestyle, of course. You want a freestyle to blow you out of the water and be the dance that you're going to remember from the season. That's why they saved them for last. They saved the freestyle. It's the best for last. And we'll talk. Some of the couples did not really capitalize on that, but Steven and Riley definitely did. No denying.
For sure.
And
So.
oh my god, the like gymnastic routine with almost was like giving b-boy at a certain point, right? Like on the floor where the spotlight is on him,
Yeah.
and but then it's him and his teammates. That is such good choreography, and that's exactly what we wanted. And I was so stressed for Chandler because I was like, oh my god, is Chandler coming in fifth? Because listen, Brandon's like great, but we know that sometimes the choreography isn't like 100% compared to and I still think this was my favorite freestyle, or maybe top two, if not the first. But just I don't know. I just don't have enough words. I really feel like he hit everything he needed to hit. And it made me feel emotional, which doesn't happen.
Especially when they were crying after it was done. Carrie Ann was talking about this. The two of them were talking about, the fact that there's no more dancing after this, which is not true for these two. They will be on tour.
Yeah.
And so you will get plenty more dancing between Riley and Steven, and I'm sure that they're happy about that. This was Riley's first finale. Of course, this is only her second season, but for her to be 19 years old, dancing in a Dancing with the Stars finale and, pulling off some of these impressive performances, she's got to be pretty happy coming out of tonight. So
Yeah.
that's
This was my mom's like winner pick after. She was like, he's just so sweet and smiles so much. He should win. And she's like, can I vote for him? And I was like, you can vote for two people. It's okay.
Oh. And I'm pretty sure this was right their first 30 of the season, perfect score of the season, which probably has to be Riley's first perfect score ever, because no way she got one with Harry Jowsey last season. So this has got to be her first perfect score ever, first finale. Like, she's having a good night there. Also, did you guys enjoy the confetti for every perfect score of the night.
Fun.
Why not, right? Yeah.
I
Hell
like
yeah.
it. Yep.
Why not?
How many times did it get to where you didn't like it, or did you not like it the first
Ooh,
time?
fair. Okay, yeah.
It was good. I liked it.
It felt like we're a party city. We love Party City,
Yeah,
right?
I
They have
mean,
confetti.
we're celebrating. It's the finale.
Yeah, I love it.
Let's
I
move
also
along.
really like.
Ooh, yes.
Oh,
Go back.
Julianne during the judging of the first dance, the quick step, used finale, like not finale, but like finale. And I heard a couple, like Derek is also a big finale guy.
Julianne too, I think, right?
Yeah, both of them. They're
Yeah.
throwing finales.
No,
out.
and not right, because here's the thing. Thank you for bringing this up, because that reminds me. I believe Julian or Alfonso said at the start, right? The most spectacular finale ever. Be serious.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a really good group, and I don't have them ranked.
Ooh,
Brandon
maybe they
probably does on a
recycle.
spreadsheet, but probably not number one overall. But it was still fun.
You would hope they recycle the confetti, not to topic change, but the confetti. It's so much paper,
A lot of confetti.
Taylor Swift's jet doesn't make more, harm to the environment than that. That's like 14 times that's happening.
No,
but
who said? Yeah, Phoenix said. I hope they recycle the confetti.
You would
Imagine
hope.
someone's like picking it up, putting it back in the cannon.
In the cannon. I wonder who gets that job. That's a fun job.
I would like
firing
that
the-
job, honestly.
Yeah.
Probably the pros that didn't get invited back this season.
Oh no.
Ezra, what did you do? Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, I think Riley is coming back for season 34, and they're gonna give her like an absolute ringer. Like they want her in this spot. I think they want like the quote unquote hazing of the Harry Jowsey of it all, getting like the not so good partner your first season. I think that sometimes you get a not so good partner season on season, but I think Riley's gonna just get the cream of the crop for the next group.
Do you have any other expectations of like surprises we may get back next season? I would say I don't have a surprise necessarily, but I would not be surprised to see Lindsay back after she spent so much time around with Riley this season.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
for sure. Well, yeah.
We'll
once you're looking at it, like you want to tag back in. I mean, that's like I'm sure being in the room, and she was there the other day.
She was there.
She was at that.
She came back for the 500 celebration. The only pro to get a call back. Well, some of them got calls and didn't come. Yeah, Lavender saying Sharna as well. But I don't touch the comments anymore. I messed that up.
Okay,
and moving on, let's talk about our winners here.
Oh yeah, and Jackie said sorry. One more about Steven, that Steven maybe was supposed to be more of a ringer than he actually turned out to be.
Hundo P agree with that.
Yeah,
I've had that thought. And again, he was having fun the whole time, and he's somebody who I feel like you could have seen a path for them winning just because they are fun and like lovable. But yeah, I don't think he came in with the most the highest of whatever you would call that. I was expecting him to be like natural in the same way that I feel like Joey is a natural, and then he just wasn't. He wasn't that.
Yeah, it was straight up just the musicality. That was the comments that he got every week, and he definitely improved on it, but it's hard to perfect something that doesn't come naturally.
Maybe if he wore his glasses, but who knows?
Well,
anyway.
Was it last week that the glasses went flying and
yeah,
we missed Sasha for that one. All right, Joey and Jenny. What am I doing? Joey and Jenna are winners of Dancing with the Stars season 33. Brandon, I am totally with you that for whatever reason, after a season long feeling confident that these two were going to be our winners, that Joey had Bachelor Nation, that unfortunately knocked out Jenn along the way because they were all supporting Joey, and he was so good, improving every week, doing so well. But at some point during the finale, and maybe it was his freestyle, even further making that point feel strongly in my head, that I'm like, I don't think he has it. I don't know. Second, third place.
Yeah, it's the strangest thing. Again, I've been, I can't tell you how many times, I know as well as myself watch the Jungle Book routine or the Tarzan routine.
Tarzan,
with also I've never seen either of the movies. I get this one.
Oh my God.
That's I've never seen Friends, as I've never seen most animated Disney movies. But even this dance, even the first dance, I thought was like not the most exciting, like we started off and I was like, I wrote in my, notes, he's great. He's a great dancer. He hits when he's supposed to hit. It's just this didn't feel as like, I thought the Come Together dance last week when he danced to Come Together was so good and fun, whatever. And I just felt like the first dance was missing that. And then the freestyle did too. The freestyle was not, the Carrie Ann comment of like the freestyle isn't, I think she said she was like bored. I don't think I was bored by the actual dance. And I think he did amazing at the dance, but just, you stack it up with Stevens, who's right before, and then you stack it up with, Danny's 4 set pieces and Chandler's super important routine. And then Ilona having, so much fun. Like, yeah, it wasn't, it wasn't up with everybody else.
Yeah, it wasn't. The freestyle was not what you expect in a freestyle. It was not, it was certainly a fun performance. And if they had done it in week 8 or 9, I would have been like, oh, this is great. They probably get 10s in a moment like that. But expectations are through the roof in a freestyle. And it was just like, theirs, and we'll talk about Danny and Whitney's, I feel like was putting on production. Like it was just putting on like a show. And this was still Dancing with the Stars. It's not, really fun shows with the stars. It's got to be a mix of both, and unfortunately it just wasn't a complete picture for me. I mean, look, it was still incredible, and like I think a lot of people in the chat,
so cool. The glow in the dark
stuff. The glow in the dark was, I was waiting because you were waiting for the reveal, right? You were waiting for like, when does it step up a notch? When does it get to that next level? And when the glow in the dark tennis rackets debut, you're like, okay, now this is the fun moment, but it's still not enough. And like even in this screen capture, it's like a cool stance, it is fun. And I would have also given the 9 that Carrie Ann gave, but the first one was so good. It was so much better.
After this part of the dance, what you're looking at here, the glow in the dark stuff, Joey then does like a dance on the ground, like by himself with a bunch of other of the pros. And that was really, really good. And I just wish the dance was more of that, as opposed to, it's like the Mary Poppins, like Kane thing. There's only so much you can do with just that. And I wish that he was like, really, I felt like, he's dancing obviously for the whole thing, but I wish those, if you go back and watch it, those like 3 or 4 seconds right towards the end were really, really good. And I wish that was the whole thing.
Yeah.
Again, I will actually agree that it felt like way more dancing than the others, as in like there were actually, I think, a lot of different types of moves. But we know that Jenna has choreographed ridiculous viral stuff already. So I think when we're comparing what happened and what we have already seen, Tarzan dance, hell, every other dance, with that's where I think, to me, a non-ballroom person, right, that has no understanding of technicality, it fell flat. And I think it's their outfits too. Their outfits were actually bad. It's so on the nose, and it should have been, I think, like an actual white that could have glowed in the dark. Like if the two of them in this picture, for everyone listening, right, like if the two of them were able to have like also glow in the dark out like clothes, I think that could have been really cool too. But the white wasn't white. I don't know, it was just, I just feel like someone forgot something.
It was missing.
And
wow.
That's how we ended
and it was, again, it was good. There was plenty of good here.
I don't think it deserved 10s, but it's so hard to say like that it deserved 9s too. Like I know that's, I'm giving a non-answer.
I mean, I think he did such a fantastic job dancing. I think it just wasn't as flashy. And I think that's a testament to how good he is and how good we all expect him to be, that we all see him perform a dance like that is super, super good and technically very good. And then we're all like, that's it? Like that's still, that's what we got. Just because the bar is set so high for him. At least my bar for him is set so high because I've just enjoyed watching him for 10 weeks.
And for Jenna, right? Like that. Yeah. And that foxtrot last week from Jenna, so good, right? And them starting from a different starting point instead of, the regular steps. So good. I'm just confused as to what happened. Maybe they were like, hell, we win it anyway. It's fine.
Look, right. No. So like this obviously tennis themed was important to Joey. So like you take the theme that you start with and Jenna is building something around that. So, I mean, the fact that like they were basing their entire performance and everything around the tennis rackets, it's like, no, but you two should be the stars, not the tennis rackets. I was waiting for them to lose the rackets. Eventually they do. And they're just dancing together. And then the rackets come back. And I was like, okay, great. They glow. But again, there's just so many better performances from them throughout the season. It is disappointing when you're waiting for the freestyle because that's supposed to be the coolest one. And it just feels like it's not the best of the season. But there are winners because every other week of the season they were in the top two. Lavender saying at least he didn't do roses. Yeah, that's fair.
Amen.
Jen did the rose.
You know, it's
Oh
a
my
drum
God.
they're all beating, the Bachelor folks.
Yeah,
Like,
and I
Yeah.
also think this is a fair point, right? Where Lavender is saying, like, if Steven went after Joey, Joey probably wouldn't have gotten a higher score. And I think that's true. I think Steven
1000%.
set such a good, like, oh, this is freestyle. And this is like quote unquote one of our not our strongest dancer doing such a like, 10 on 10 freestyle. Oh, everyone's gonna kill it. And it's just I don't want to blame Joey actually, but something was off, and I need someone that's a technical dancer to come in and tell me what happened.
Overall, just to give some thoughts here, again, as Joey and Jenna, as our winners here, in the first intro package, they talk again about he's the first Bachelor to make it to a finale. We again have seen Bachelorettes have success in Hannah and Caitlin, and now Joey joins the championship. Oh, and Melissa Rycroft. Joey gets to join that winner's circle alongside them again as the first Bachelor. So, pretty impressive for him to be the first to pull it off after there have been plenty of the Bachelors on the show, but none of them have been anywhere near as good as Joey was and is. And he had a hell of a season, certainly a deserving winner. We called it weeks ago because it was clear from very early on that this man could move. And Jenna, when she was crying in the second one, the second package, being like, I've been waiting for, a partner like you that can really handle my choreography that I want to do. That's like extra challenging and not just like a surface level, getting by to get by each week that comes with plenty of celebrities that can't dance on the show or give it their best, but they're not the winner. And she recognized, I think, early as well that she could have had the winner by her side, and she was so thrilled to be with him all season long. And it was a great duo.
Yeah, actually, that comment that was just up, the apologizing to the judges. Talk about that more. I don't think I noticed that. I don't think I caught it. But tell me what that
when was that? Remind me. When did he apologize? Was it after like he won? Did he apologize? Was it like right after he in his like final comments?
Like he was giving a like consolidation speech.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Where like, and John even says, right, thank you, John, that he apologized to Carrie Ann. I think it was like very much like, oh shucks, I know they're good dancers here, because he started with and Ilona is really good, right? And Ilona killed it and deserves this because he turned to them. Yeah, thank you, Melissa, saying, I promise I did my best. That's exactly what he said.
Wow.
So it's just his vibe. I think more than even like exactly what he said, but it's just the way he felt, very much like, yeah, shucks. I know. That's why I feel like it's almost like maybe they all knew he was winning just based on the numbers, and I still think it's fine. It's a well-deserved winner. It's not like he sucks or anything.
Carrie Ann early on in the night was like, "You could be the winner." She's like, "Let me not say that because who knows, but you could be the winner."
Yeah, and when she talked negatively about the freestyle, I thought that she boned his chance of winning just because people who are live voting, I thought he was out. And again, like a fair critique from Carrie Ann, I think, but I just don't remember, and maybe this happens, I don't remember people getting critiqued hard at the freestyle round, but I guess that just speaks to the caliber of talent that's at the freestyle rounds to begin with. I don't hear like critiques like that. But yeah, I thought that I did not expect him after the 2 hours and 57 minutes. I did not expect him to win. I expected him to win for 9 weeks, but then
I know, which is so funny.
I did not.
Yeah, Angela also in the chat. This is interesting, right? Like maybe he felt the type of way because his last scent didn't get tens, but other people's did. Yeah, I'm sure there's a little bit of some like, oh, that ended kind of whoa. But
and Carrie Ann was like, I thought she did a good job in like announcing what her score was going to be there and being like, fine, Boomy, I get it. But she had to stay true to how she felt. And I think, again, seeing some of the response of people don't always agree with Carrie Ann, myself included. But to feel like you were agreeing with Carrie Ann in that moment, I was like, all right, I'm glad she said something and didn't just pass it by because it was the final performance.
Yes. Somebody in the chat said, if Steven maybe Joey suffered after going after Steven rather. If Joey goes first, I think this is much better. But I think like Joey
100%.
going after anybody is not
Yeah.
good for Joey.
Yeah.
You know, he had to have teed off for this to be, you know, the caliber maybe to everybody else's or even look a little bit like it. But yeah, just, you know, for us, again, it's a testament to how good he is that we all had the same feeling after it.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad he won. My favorite part of the show, I think I said this in week 1, is seeing people who come in with no dance experience at all and just naturally thrive and get better. And I really, really enjoyed watching Joey, who was having so much fun the entire time. So thrilled for the Joey win for sure.
Yes. Let's talk about our 5th place couple. We maybe were fearing that it wouldn't end up being 5th place, just because, as you know, again, as the season went on, and I don't know, we keep getting people saying, Danny haters. Look, we're judging these people based on their performances, and Danny consistently got to, was showing the 5th best of this final group in some of our opinions, and that's where we're at. And I think, you know, was just satisfied with his placement here. I think, you know, they had a very good season. Whitney did everything she could. Danny had such an arc of, you know, coming out of his shell after the first couple of weeks of like not cracking a smile. I almost feel like the curve went back down to him also, like towards the end, not having that full smile he had weeks ago, even though he was trying to convince us that he did. But Sasha, what do you make of Danny's finish here and his final 2 performances?
I think he deserved to be in the finale. I want to say that. I really think that from day one, he's been such a welcome surprise that you're like, oh my God, he can move. But Melissa says this best in the chat, right? I really thought Whitney strategized the best possible season for Danny. And I think that's it. Where the way they choreographed him and around him, with him, whatever you want to say, I just think that it got him where he needed to be. I think even though in this picture that we're showing for folks that are listening, this picture, he looks like, oh yes, Danny got it. He's smiling. But I think this is like the only picture where he was smiling in that dance. Which again, it's fine. I love their outfits too. I just think it looked really nice. It just was really interesting to how the first dance was just kind of like, okay, we made it. And my mom was like, he looks like Ken. Mind you, she did not know what the final dance was. I just thought that's so funny. She's like, he's just so attractive. Like, it doesn't even matter. He should just be there.
That is really funny. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, freestyle, and we get a Barbie mashup, including "I'm Just Ken," which was, again, as I was saying earlier, Brandon, I thought it was a very fun performance, a very fun, complete show, something to watch, a music video, if you will. But like the whole complete dance was missing a little bit, and I again was with Carrie Ann and thinking a 9 feels appropriate here to me.
Yeah, this actually, and not to foresee Danny's 5th place, but this felt very much like, you know, your old American Idol finales of the past, when they would bring back like the 6th place person or the 7th place person, and they would sing with Jack Black, right? They would do something fun that's like, oh, this is nice, you know. And I like Danny, like he was having fun. I very much enjoyed it. But yeah, I mean, I think at this point, all of us that are watching, and you know, I'm sure the viewers are also like, yeah, he's not winning, you know, like whether he's 5th, 4th, whatever. But I enjoyed it. I think there is something that Joey has about his personality that Danny does not have. And I don't know whether it's like a willingness to have more fun, or it's like not to say that Danny doesn't have like wrist. Like Danny's, you know, very handsome. I think he's got a rizness about him, but Joey has, I feel like, something else that set him apart beyond just dance skills. That there have been other NFL players on the show that have had that thing. That I just think that Danny is missing in his personality, which is, again, not an indictment on Danny by any means. He was very good. Like he was very good, but I think there's like maybe an X factor that you have to like push yourself further, even if you don't have all of the dance skills. And I don't think that Danny has that je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, there was enough moments, whether it was from him or others, that kept his segments moving along. The every time that he's getting judged, Bruno has something to say. He ends up at the in the second after the freestyle pulling in Danny. What did he say? He was like, Mr. Gotham, come to daddy. And he hesitantly takes a couple steps forward to go up to Bruno. Bruno's like, wait, I didn't actually mean it. But then so he just grabs Danny's hand and eventually like has nothing to actually do with him that he can do on live television and just sends him back to where then Danny runs up to the skybox where he gets in bed with Whitney and Julianne, which creates a whole hell of a moment there as like Danny is married, as far as I'm aware.
Is he?
No, he's not.
Oh, he's not. Oh, I'm
single
sorry.
as hell.
Sorry, I'm wrong. Wait.
No.
Did you say? Wait, did you say he's divorced? What did you say?
No, single.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Single.
Okay.
Where did you get that he's married? No.
Well, I thought he was.
No.
So when Julianne made the comment being like, is that an invitation? I was like, oh my God, his wife won't. Well, if he doesn't have a wife, then that's great. Are we shipping
I can see
Danny
it
and
for
Julianne?
them. Yeah, that's cute, right? I'm into it. Sure.
The comments in the chat. No, he's very single. He's single. John saying, strap it on. Yes.
Period. You know what? Then that's
Strap it
my
on.
second joke. Because I was like, do I say antidepressants or do I say I've strapped it on? And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna say the first one. But you folks really not know that strap it on is like a football thing? Because as soon as he said it, I was like, got it, and then just kept going. But everybody was in shambles.
Well, look, because then what was it? Carrie Ann is later talking about, well, you strapped up and swung your sword. I mean, what are we doing here?
What the hell?
Like, don't act like we have to keep the audience in control. You're the one saying the things.
Yeah, the sword comment was and the instant regret upon really anybody's face. Yeah.
And he's like, the sword and the shield and the
Yeah, you think so?
Taylor, were you in the audience?
Yeah. But the ending, but I thought it was funny though, before whatever. When Julianne and the two of them are up in the bed because obviously the set is still there and there's no other pros up there. I'm like, come on, you couldn't have at least let like Ezra be up there for the joke, He's up in everybody's TikTok comments calling Danny daddy and everything. We could have just let that have one final moment, but it's okay. I don't know. These two dances, they were good. I mean, did Danny and Whitney get any perfect scores throughout the entire season? Do you know the answer to that off the top of our head?
I don't believe they did. I feel like a lot of 9s, but no 10s. I mean, 10s, but not a perfect.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think they ever got to be together.
Yeah. Stood in the way again. No, okay. Listen, if Joey got a 9 and she would have given him a 10, we would have fought for real.
Yeah.
Hundo P.
But I agree with what we were saying earlier. Yeah. Whitney did a really good job. Whitney did everything she could have, and she really relied on the holds, throwing Whitney up in the air, and just kind of the same, somewhat of the same trope that like Daniela was doing with Dwight, to just like, hey, look at this cool thing.
Yes.
And it worked to certain extents, but just a lot of the other people around them, the other couples were doing more impressive routines. And so,
you know what would have really killed it? The Deadpool and Wolverine routine. That as the finale freestyle, I would have fallen over myself. I would have voted 10s to Danny.
I mean, that belonged in the finale more than it did in Disney night. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of here.
Oh, that was Lovina's in the chat. You better not. But no, I really think that the Deadpool, they were onto something specific for him. With the Deadpool Wolverine number with bye that fight scene. So I know that like it couldn't have been, or you can't just copy paste, but girl, hit that copy paste, do something.
And being mad.
They also got quite lucky, not lucky, and it's a testament to Whitney's ability to choreograph, but like the unsteady move that was trending all over TikTok, like if you can do that, like that. In 5 years, when we all forget who that move was attributed to, people are going to guess it was Joey, and it wasn't. It's Danny Amendola.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly felt like my note for the Barbie performance, the freestyle, was it felt like they were just choreographing another TikTok. Like a lot of it was just like them walking towards the camera, lip syncing with like dance moves kind of mixed in along the way. And I was like, no, they're literally just making TikToks, and that's what Whitney's been trying to do for weeks, because it's been keeping people engaged enough with them, but not enough to get them past 5th place. So with all that said,
shucks.
we move along to our second place couple, our runners up here, Ilona and Alan, who had one hell of a season. Ilona had one of the best story arcs on the show, of just, coming in with this story, wanting to empower young women, or just women in general, who don't feel comfortable in their own bodies, to, just stand strong in their own bodies, and to show that, especially for Ilona, that her strength is not by any means a hindrance. I mean, she is one of the, she's an Olympic rugby player. This woman is unbelievable in, her profession. And so she comes here to tackle a field that maybe is not the most natural fit for her, or just perception wise, that was a lot of the story there. She completely just erases any perceptions that people might have had of her. She dominates. She stands again in her power the entire way through. She gets through some tough moments, been better Carrie-Anne, and she comes through in this performance tonight. And what does she say in she said in the freestyle, she comes out with a monologue that was so much fun. We'll talk about. And the first thing she says is, "Never been better, Carrie-Anne. Never been better, Carrie-Anne." I loved it so much. Oh my God. Sasha, what do you have on these two?
All of it. Okay, Ilona, are you taking BFF applications? Where can I? Where can I apply? Okay.
Yeah.
Please, immediately. So good. Again, it's just Ilona has it. And she's had it since we were first introduced to her in the Olympics, right? Her sister was shown today. Again, her sister invented girl dinner. Just so good, right? Like, everything about Ilona and her family is perfect. And then I must say, the outfit that Ilona had on, hot. Just hot, good. Like, she played into everything that I have been like wanting for her. Like, she moved to like soft, but then like in your face sexy, but then soft again, right? Like that back and forth. That freestyle was so good. And she was a star, right? Where everyone else like had her jersey name on, and it was so good, sweet and nice. But she was giving star, as opposed to, right, like Danny wasn't the star of his performance. Whitney was. So this is where it's just everything about it. I was just so happy for her. I was like, she don't know me. She don't know I existed. But like, damn, I'm so proud of her.
Yeah. And not only, like, again, the freestyle being as good as it was, perfect song choice, Feminine Phenomenon.
Yes.
Oh my God. Like, because there's so many different spots in the song where, she just gets to be lip syncing along with the words. Just like, she did such a good job. Probably my favorite freestyle of the night, of combining, again, the performance with dance, with all of the pros that were like, just like giving it their all, having so much fun with this person who is such a joy, so much fun to be around. And again, just absolutely crushed this competition, Brandon.
Yeah, I hope that casting for this show like takes note of the personality that really, really works and thrives in the show. Granted, I mean, I speak for myself. I feel like I certainly did not know who Ilona was pre-Olympics, and even through the Olympics, I'm not watching, but I see Ilona on TikTok. I see her, in the weeks leading up to this cast announcement, and then I fell in love with her, as did all of us. I mean, she's second place on the show. Like it's no small feat. And I hope the casting, obviously there's no Olympics next year, but like, even though Ilona is not the most well-known celebrity, find people like Ilona, find people who are funny, who have something to prove, something that will inspire young folks who are watching this show. Because I mean, Ilona lit up social media and lit up TikTok in a way that, like, I've been watching the show for 20 years. I've never seen more people talk about it. And I don't think that's an accident. And I don't think that's because of Joey. I don't think that's because of Chandler. I think that is, I attribute most of that to Ilona and Alan. I think that the partnership was beautiful,
and the pros,
to watch.
I think, in general online too. But yeah, very much she is the celebrity I think of. You're right, Brandon.
Yeah, I again, like I said it in the beginning of this podcast, I'm so sad that this is it. Like, I'm so sad that for these two, I think Dancing with the Stars All Stars is a bad idea. I don't want that. I like people not getting their original partners, I think throws it off. But like, I'm so sad that I don't get more Ilona. And I hope I do. Sometimes people do this show and they end up other places. Ilona will have a very successful career in her sport, of course, but I hope I see her more in media and on TikTok because I think she's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's some time between now and the next Olympics. I think she'll have time for some TikToks. I hope because you kept saying Riley brought the TikTok audience.
She was making,
Ilona definitely did.
Yes, she was making TikToks. Like Ilona was at the Olympics.
Like she showed up every day to rehearsal. She had a TikTok in mind, or she like somebody gave her like I don't know who's involved in the creative process for her account.
I mean, her sister. I'm sure.
Well, there we go. And they did that before they did any rehearsing. I'm speculating on this, but I feel pretty good about it because they made sure the TikTok was nailed, and then they said, "All right, well, let's get into the dance." And it was a great strategy
for the boomers, aka the older millennial. I'm not older millennial. Even the millennials, me. She posted vlogs on YouTube, or at least one vlog, and you're right in that she goes through makeup and then she stops the makeup, does the before TikTok, then does the after TikTok, then goes into like their final dress rehearsal practice. So I really enjoyed her. And in the YouTube, she actually went out to each fan, or not each, but like as many as she can, and went and hugged them before the show, saying thank you for waiting in line, thank you for being here, all of that. Again, maybe everyone did it, I don't know, but she recorded herself doing that, and that's huge.
Yeah. She is the best. I think we all had such a great season watching her. I also loved her moments being interviewed, and every time that like they were done, they're all catching their breath right after, but she like got funny with every single time that happened. She would like exaggerate how much she was catching her breath while answering the questions, and she's just, I don't know, she's a comedian first, rugby player second in my opinion. So she was great. This couple was so great together. Again, watching them cry to each other about how much they're going to miss each other was adorable. They had such a good season, such a good growth arc for Ilona, just becoming a dancer by the end of it. They started, people were skeptical. The judges were skeptical, thinking, can they actually do it? Going all the way to second place, where again, a lot of us were thinking she could win it all. So can't be mad.
Nope. Thank you to Dancing with the Stars for introducing us to this queen.
And I love Julianne Hough, right? Nobody loves Julianne Hough for me.
Juicy.
But if Juiceanne were to step wet from her position,
maybe she gets caught up in that outfit she had on today and like doesn't know how to get out of it.
Something could happen. Throw Ilona in there. You had Erin Andrews, you had, Julianne Hough, you had, Ilona is a spiritual successor. In the skybox, Ilona would be cracking jokes for days.
I mean, at least, let her be the official social media, like Emma and Ezra, they did a great job going live on TikTok, Dancing with the Stars, Instagram. What's Ilona? Get her on that. If Julianne's going to stay in her job, I'm with you, Brandon, though. That's a great call.
Want bigger for my girl. You know what I mean? I don't disagree with you.
Good. And they did, just real quick, the polos here that the guys were wearing, like, this is what Joey and his group should have had. Like, it's just, there's extra something here that worked better.
The outfits took me out. I was like, no, Joey, they did you dirty.
Yeah, I'm sitting here. I was watching the performance. I was like, is Val going to like sabotage this performance so that Joey and Jenna win?
I'm dead. I'm dead. No, he's trying to get his check too.
Honorable.
All right. And our final couple of the night, Chandler and Brandon. Sasha, they unfortunately were not able to go all the way, but as far as the total cumulative score of the season, they finish on top, I do believe. Fact check me in the chat if I'm wrong, but I believe that to be the case. I think they also finished the finale night in first place with the scores, beating Joey and Jenna by one judge's point. They did it. They did everything they possibly could have, besides spending more time on TikTok, I guess.
No, and it's fair. The game's the game. right? This is what we signed up for, and that's okay. We knew Bachelor Nation gonna kill it. How would it be now that there are two Bachelor contestants, right? It's fine. I think that Chandler still has something to to hang her hat on, right? Where I
Yeah.
think that it's still good. Damn, I really thought they would get second, y'all. That's where I think my head was like spinning a little bit, because they just did so well. Where's Randy, right, with the freaking statistics when you need him? But I just need to know the statistics. But either way, she killed it. The freestyle was amazing. The fact that they were like, hey, we're the first all black couple, and not only that, we're going to make sure that the whole ensemble is that. This is exactly why we show up to these things, right? Like, and Carrie Ann said representation matters, right? It's so important. So just to see that again, get the history of it, all of it, felt beautiful. She deserves her flowers, and I think it's great that we got to like for me to be introduced to Chandler, because I didn't watch
Mhm.
Pretty Little Liars, like the reboot or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't know Chandler coming into this either, but coming out of this season, I think she certainly look. One person that people will point to, just going all the way back when they showed up on Dancing with the Stars from being a Disney Channel star. Brandon knows who I'm going to say, and then turned into like a global star, Zendaya. And you never know. That's certainly not a guarantee. But when you get these young Disney Channel or whatever actors on the show, you don't know what's next. We don't know what's next for Sochi. 18 years old on the show, I think, just graduated high school. Since she has won Dancing with the Stars, their whole future is ahead of them. Chandler, incredibly talented, not just as a dancer, but has done some really cool acting jobs as well. Not all of which I have seen either, but I just feel like she's got a very bright future ahead of her, and she killed it on the season. She again could not have done anything better. She crushed it all the way through.
I mean, I was gonna make the Zendaya comment because Chandler has it, right? That it that we were talking about with Joey, the it that Ilona has, Chandler has it in spades. Steven has it. Danny, I don't know. You're a great guy, but I don't get it.
But he's
Chandler,
hot, Danny.
he's hot. Danny, you're really hot. If you're watching this, really hot. Chandler is.
Really
I had so much fun every week, and I love Brandon. And Brandon, for so many seasons, had a string of partners that just weren't giving the way that they needed to give to get him here. It did not cross my mind for a minute through this whole finale that they weren't going to win. I was convinced they were going to win. And this dance, which I don't know, I think the name of the song is Apartment. I don't know. APT?
APT.
I don't know. APT. One, I've been listening to this song for like 2 weeks.
It's really good.
It's so good. But this was my favorite dance of the season. This was so good. It was unbelievably good. This dance. The freestyle also beautiful, very important, very powerful. I'm not taking away from that by any means. I absolutely loved this dance. I love their Hot to Go in the premiere also. Like
me too. I like that.
There's something to dancing to like a song that's currently popular that really like this. I've been listening to this now like every day for the past 2 weeks, and now to hear it here has been so much fun. But she is, I mean, again, by far the best dancer out of this crowd. And Charlie 2 seasons ago, sometimes the best dancer wins, right? Amon Shumpert the season before, not the best dancer, next to Jojo Siwa, and he wins. It's a toss-up sometimes. Didn't think she was getting third by any means, but I really thought that she had it for sure.
Sasha, they would not let Carrie Ann back off from her. Like, not only did she pick the dance for them, quote unquote, she picked out the jive. And then she's talking about how, Chandler, you've had the most difficult season. I'm like, I wonder why.
I wonder why. That's what I said out loud. I wonder who that could be from.
Like,
am I the drama? Is it me?
Right.
Someone had like a gun in front of Carrie Ann to be like, you're gonna be nice to Chandler. We can't keep doing this.
Yeah, and that was like 2 weeks ago that we felt that way, and then like last week or something, like I feel like she was like going back a little bit, she's been back and forth. And again, she's the one that made it difficult on her throughout the season. We understood along the way, judge her a little bit harsher from a critique perspective, give her the notes that you need to give her, but that doesn't mean you bring her scores back where she's matching like, lesser dancers, lesser like people who are not doing as well as her in their scores just because you have them on such different scales. The numbers are the numbers. And at the end of the day, of course, the numbers lead to who the ultimate winner is. And they, again, could not have done better. They got 2 perfect scores in the finale. They didn't get perfect scores the whole way through. They got 118 out of 120 from last week's scores. That they didn't get perfect scores last week, but still, I don't know.
Not to hijack the Chandler conversation, but
No.
on the Carrie-Anne front, I'm good. we've had
Really?
33 seasons. I think I'm like, I really like Derek and the judging panel in that we put former pros, like throw Cheryl Burke in there, throw Sharna in there. You know what I mean? I think the and I wasn't obviously on the podcast, but the Carrie-Anne comments, you know, to Chandler, it was just weird for me this time. I'm sure there's other seasons where similar things happen. I'm okay. Carrie-Anne, you've been fantastic, but I think that if there's anything I'm taking away, it's you know, maybe Sharna, you'd be great at that. Okay, Cheryl Burke, where you at?
I think they have to really explore the route of having more former pros that are not on the season, you know, in the judges' seats in some capacity. So I would not be mad whether it's with Carrie-Anne or without of that just continuing on more. But I also like for Mark, people, you know, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, Mark for the permanent 4th spot. I want to see him back dancing still. I'm not ready to like let that go. Like Derek is too far gone from that, but like I'll take another season of Mark as a pro. But who knows? And then the second. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Sasha.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Just the second dance again was what a great number, what a powerful number, as I forget to switch to the picture there, of the entire group of dancers behind them being an all Black group of dancers. I saw Britt, of course, one of the pros here, posted on social media how proud she was to have been involved in this. And of course, they don't have, you know, an infinite pool of Black dancers on the show. They have on this season, it was Brandon and Britt. And then they have, I believe his name is Marquette, who's on the troupe. And then some of the other dancers that they brought in were just other dancers that I think have been around the show in like whenever they get called in capacity. I did see Brittany Parks, who was a former dancer on Glee, and I didn't recognize everybody else there because I mean, I didn't know all of them, but it was just a very cool moment. I'm glad that they, you know, got to be in that moment. You could tell that Brandon was getting emotional a couple times, like as the judges were giving their critiques. And as Julianne was talking to them about it, he just kind of kept turning his head of just like, probably a combination of, wow, that was crazy that we just did that. It was a big moment for us. And also this is his first finale. You know, he had the best possible chance to win that he's ever had so far. So you could tell. And I think Carrie-Anne or Derek, somebody was giving Brandon props for an incredible season. So, you know, shout out to him, shout out to both of them.
Yeah, and I also just want to say, because listen, like we'd be remiss to not talk about the online, like whatever weird vibes. Like I don't want to like quantify it, but you know, towards Chandler and Brandon, and you know, maybe even folks probably feeling a type of way. I also saw it online, and chat was talking about it, right? About, oh, like this is an all Black, like true, blah, 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 blah. You know what? Like F y'all, because we know they're not winning, right? And why not then do what's true to yourself? Be like, hey, this is a moment for us to shine. And I think people of color and Black people specifically have been, you know, carrying a lot of like of their community, our communities on our shoulder. I'm not Black, but I'm saying as a person of color. Like if I was in a finale, I am doing a Bollywood dance. Like there is no way I'm not. And even if I lose because like, oh, you know, people don't know what song it is and they're not going to vibe as much, that's fine. You know what I mean? This is a once in a lifetime moment. And it's like, they unfortunately had 33 seasons worth of like pressure put on them.
Yeah.
Right. And they needed to do what they needed to do. And it's fine again if if they didn't win or if it didn't sit right with you. But sometimes like you gotta show up for the people that have never seen themselves represented before.
Yeah, Geneva's mentioning that Amber Riley's still the only Black woman to win the show all the way back in season
Yeah.
17
Like,
to
this stuff
keep it on Glee for a minute.
matters.
The fact that this is the first all Black couple to make it to the end is insane. And, just have to hope that just like some other shows have kind of like turned a corner in recent years, that like this is just a trend going forward. That doesn't have to just be, this is the first and this is the second, and it just becomes more of a normal thing. But that also might require them having a couple of more Black pros on the troupe as well.
Yeah, because folks are also sharing. I know it wasn't just Tasia, but that one of Beyonce's backup dancers, was there as well.
Yeah.
I'm doing the Rolodex in my head. The first Black pro is Keo, or am I forgetting somebody before that?
Not sure if he's first, but he was certainly, one of the more prominent dancers in recent memory. But yeah, again, hopefully we're on the upswing of improving that kind of thing. But again, these two dominated this season. They did so well. They have so much to be proud of. I'm sure they're going to be friends for a while. They're going on tour along with, again, Joey for a couple of shows, Ilona for at least one show, Steven for the entire tour. So if you're checking out the Dancing with the Stars tour, let us know how it goes. When you go,
Brit is the first.
Brit's first.
But then
Jenny
was saying Keo. So
Keo was the first.
Here we go.
I thought Keo, because I thought Brit started with Daniel Durant, which was only a couple seasons ago. And Keo, I think, started around 23, 24, 25.
Loving fiance, who was there backstage tonight. They're adorable.
Yeah.
I also want to shout out, by the way, was asking for some predictions all around, and at least I found Randy and Cindy both had the exact order correct. Joey, Ilona, Chandler, Steve, and Danny. So shout out to them. And if I missed anybody, apologies for getting the predictions correct there. But I don't know. I think that might be it.
Yeah, I think so. I also just I am Jenka in the chat. Jekka, sorry. Says right, this is a popularity contest, and I don't know the demographics or numbers, but I'm pretty sure Bachelor and Gymnast are most popular. And that's the game. And I will never take that away from Joey or Ilona. I want to make that clear too. That's the game, that's the show we signed up for, and that's nice. And that works. And I will never be mad about it, because like they were still good. It's just we just gotta like breathe with how folks were talking, like how folks are talking about Chandler. That's all I mean by that.
Yeah, and John in the chat was saying Facebook moms hate Disney stars with any ounce of prior dance experience. So that's Sabrina Bryan's story, Brandon. That's why we lost her twice.
Oh my God, that was the worst. That was I in 5th grade or 3rd grade. That was the first time that happened. That hurt bad. I remember who I was. I'm not going to name them. I remember who I was talking to in class about it when that happened.
We should not have experienced that kind of trauma and pain in our reality TV at such a young age, but we did. We got through it.
Fall of 2006. Spring 2007. It doesn't matter, but I'll Google it after we get off here. I mean, listen, it's happened too many times. The guy who Cody Lindley, that was, I think he got 4th place when he was on. I can do this. I can do this all night, chat. You just leave the StreamYard on. I'll be here. I can name you everybody. But oh my God. I mean, I had so much fun. And again, to both of you who have done this for 10 weeks now, this is like, I love this show. I love this show. And to see my community, like the community that I grew up with, the Rob as a Podcast folks, talk about it and engage with it. Like, I've had so much fun listening to it every week. And I'm so thankful to you guys for even having the idea to do it. And listen, the show's never been more popular. Like with the TikTok of it all, and the social media of it all. This is only, we're full steam ahead at some point to run it back and see Riley win season 34 with whoever her partner is. Maybe it's one of us. We don't know.
I mean, look, if any of the three of us are most likely.
Yeah, I was like, there was only one.
Not your boy. It's one of you guys. But yeah, I mean, thank you both for doing this. This has been so much fun. To see everybody get together around one of my favorite shows. So
yes, and thank
kudos
you
to both of you.
Thank you for saying all of that, and thank you for being with us for the premiere and of course here for the finale. If there is a next time, we certainly hope to kick things off and at least close things down with you next time too. There will be a Dancing with the Stars 34. We have no reason to doubt that, and hopefully we'll be there as well. It has been such a fun season to again talk to all of our guests along the way. To have Sasha here by my side and get to do a little project with Sasha for the first time has been fun. Sasha,
Yes.
who is a master of this damn chat. Obviously, I am not. And getting intros
I
going and
love
everything.
chat. Oh my god. Chat is literally
So
my favorite thing. I have to say.
and like you said, shout out to the chat for hanging out with us every single week
We
that
had
we
2
have been live.
questions.
Oh,
Yeah, from the
please, yes.
chat. Samuel asked, right, who had the best message from home?
They were all so cute.
Yeah.
They were cute.
Anyone that
I
didn't
like
have like a
Steven.
former contestant
Yeah.
chiming in,
I
because
like
that's
Steven and Riley's the
That was
best.
nice.
I think it was just like cute, like sweet vibes.
Any grandparent representation,
Yeah.
Oh
I'm all
yes,
in
because
on.
we
Throw
had
some
that too.
grandparents, you
Yes.
know?
Yes.
I
yeah.
love
Ugh.
that. And I love Chrissy Yamaguchi. I know we don't want
Oh
former
my god,
contestants, but
that was
I was crazy.
huge.
Yeah.
Love
I was like,
Chrissy
what the
Yamaguchi.
hell? Okay.
I'm happy to
Uh,
see her.
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah. That was great too. Agreed. And then 2 like similar-ish questions from I am Jekka and Angela, I want to say. Where Jekka asks, do you guys think, finale should be chosen by judges' votes? And how do we, what's the rubric? Do we know for fan versus judges scores?
It's half, right? I think it's always been half.
Yeah, it's half. I
That
believe so.
whatever
Is it
whatever
half?
the exact math is,
Mhm.
that the judges scores count for half and the audience vote counts for half. So, again, if we're worried about Chandler and Brandon not getting the fan votes, at least they had a good bump from the 118 points out of 120 points, to carry them through, because they were really good. So I think that's the deal there. I'm sure if you look around on Reddit or anywhere online, you'll get like the full like mathematics. I don't know, maybe Randy can help us with that too, but that's how it's done. Any last questions or
Yeah, no, I think that's good. Yeah, and I would say I think that judges and fans is the correct way, even though like we lose out on Chandler, is
agreed.
Normani, sorry, is
Normani.
Zendaya, all of them. Yeah, it's just sure it sucks, but that's the game, and
Yeah.
that's what we signed up for. And you know what? Sometimes it's fun to be a robbed G.Honest, so it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Love that.
Well, again, hopefully we will be back for the next time around. Stay posted on all that. But please do everything, that you have been doing all the way along to continue supporting the podcast here.
Yes,
Leave some
5-star
comments,
reviews.
5-star reviews. Make sure you're subscribed. That's the only way you'll know if we are back in the future. And in the meantime, you can find us all around these RHAP streets. Brandon was just yesterday on Club Condo. Anything else to plug, Brandon?
I think that's it. I've never done 2 podcasts in 2 days. So
yeah.
I am back-to-back nights. So I'm good. You'll hear from me at like season 48, or the Traders is on in January. So maybe you'll hear from me then. Who knows? But I'm chilling for a little bit. Follow me wherever. Follow me on Blue Sky. We're blue skying. Yeah, we're skeeting. Skeeting's lit.
Oh no.
But I'm having the time of my life. This is the most fun.
I get
to do so much fun stuff.
Was it hard for you to decide to take either Brandon Donlon or just Donlon, or you knew Donlon was available?
I've tried to. Well, I signed up for Blue Sky months ago when everybody was doing it, like the first heat. So I never secure my last name anywhere. I would love to. Just getting Donlon on Instagram. I've wanted that for apps. But I got it on Blue Sky. So I'm Donlon at bluesky.so.
Yeah,
they have to ditch that. That's that's bad. But I'm having a lot of fun on there. So come follow me there. We're hanging out, and not for anything. I know that maybe the congruency between this show and Survivor in terms of live skeeting is not super equal, but like live skeeting for these shows is really, really fun. So come live skeet Wednesday night, or your favorite show that you watch weekly. Watch, skeet during it. It'll be great.
There we go. So yeah, thank you, Brandon, for joining us. Great to have you here. Thank you also, by the way, to the entire team of course, here at RHAP behind the scenes that gets us all set up to go every week with the graphics and posted and all this fun stuff that you guys do not even see. So shout out to all of them as well. For myself, I'll let Sasha close things out. For myself, you can find me on the Free Agents podcast with Brian Scally, talking about the challenge and House of Villains and Traders when they come up, just all the shows we cover over there. And the Diary Room. This latest episode, we had Taran Armstrong himself, leader of all things Big Brother over here on RHAP, joined Aman and I to pull the next 6 players. We're trying to find the best player in Big Brother history. Sasha and Brandon have both been on. It's been a lot of fun. And again, Taran was our latest guest, so check that out as well. And I think that's it for me. I'm on Blue Sky at Matt Liguori, .bsky.social, still on Twitter.
Okay.
to some capacity at Matt Liguori, and that's where you can find me. But Sasha, where can everyone find everything you've got going on as we wind down here?
Yes, of course. I am talking pop culture, everything that's trending, and what these celebs are up to over on Mess Magnets with Kirsten McKenna. So check that out on messmagnets.com. We are still currently looking for the hottest man of 2024 or whatever.
Some
in
contenders
general.
here.
Yes. Period. So if we know famous people, listen, your Riz off the charts, right? So go to tinyurl.com/messmagnets and fill in who is your hottest man of 2024. Okay, help us out. We're trying to get this going. I'm really excited about it, which means everyone should be excited about it. Okay, so please fill it out. All right. And of course, I am talking to your favorite reality TV stars about their favorite scripted shows over on TV for Real on the We Know Scripted TV feed. And speaking of We Know Scripted TV, Chappelle and I are going to be talking sex lives of the college girls. And listen, it's been so much fun. We just did a season 1 and 2 recap. We're picking the mantle up. And listen, we're bringing it back to We Know Scripted TV. And it's going to be chaos. It's going to be toxic. You want to check it out. All right. And we're, we're toxic. So the episodes will be out when they're out. And I think that's it.
Wait, just real quick, I wanted to show Angela mentioned, I wish they did Dancing with the Stars twice a year. Brandon, yes or no? Would we want that back? Or also, does it have anything to do with tour? Why they don't do that, you think?
I think that I think they just got, I prefer the once a year. I don't know if it's a tour reason. But we were getting like, I think we were really scraping the barrel, and now I feel like we haven't been the past couple seasons. Which unbelievably, if you look at the past couple seasons, that's not scraping the barrel. It was for a time much worse. So I'm cool with the once a year. I love the idea of granted, I understand that Reginald isn't moving and grooving, but do a golden Dancing with the Stars and do it for 4 weeks, Dancing with the Stars juniors, famously, Riley's home turf, something fun in the spring, for 3 or 4 weeks, I think is fun. But until then, I'll rock with our late August when these cast announcements and leaks start coming out. It's my favorite time.
It's the most wonderful time of the year for real.
I really, really enjoy it. So, and then, you don't want to do that. It's like, it's like having Thanksgiving twice a year. You don't want to do that twice. So, I'm happy with that, unless we want to do Golden Dancing with the Stars, in which case, I'm excited.
Well, in the meantime, it is once a year, so that's the story there. Again, shout out to Joey and Jenna, our winners. Congratulations to them. Ilona and Alan, our runners-up. Incredible seasons by all the finalists. If you want more from any of them, get to their social medias. They will probably be, foot on the gas for at least the rest of this week and, maybe beyond. So that is that. Again, that's all I got for now. Sasha, unless you have anything else, thank you again,
everyone.
everybody.
Bye.